Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa.
Oh, I bet you at home right now watching TV, letting your life pass you by, and you keep procrastinating over and over. If you're gonna watch Freedom Schools on 10 tomorrow, the next day, 5 minutes from now, or whenever you get to it, no. Do it right now. It's our last episode, episode 6. We're bringing you more of everything, and I know you love seeing Kate Miller, Professor Whoa, Richie Rich, and any other special guests. And don't forget DJ Taylor at the end with the playlist. So let's go. Whoa, let's go.
What I need to do. I got purpose. I work hard to get far. I deserve it.
It's your main man, Richie Rich, here to stop all the hateration and holleration in this affirmation station. We only speak living life into lives of strife to reignite the fight to make everything in our world all right. We're going to do something a little bit different today. Not focusing on helping others, but focusing on helping ourselves. Everyone, put your mirrors up. Higher. 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 What do you see? Do you know who you are? What you do well? What you need work in? Do you have the ability to be truthful with yourself? Can you hold yourself accountable? We have walked through this journey of how to make a difference, but it all started with you. Making a difference in your daily actions and thoughts will make a difference in your family. You have to make a difference in yourself to build relationships, to create community. You must shape your skills as a leader to navigate people and make a difference in your country. You must learn to appreciate your flaws, therefore you can accept the flaws of people to make a difference in your world. Hope starts with you. Education starts with you. Action starts with you. The difference is, it ends with a try. Start with the ability to self-assess and end not fighting alone. I love you. Every shape, every shade, every flaw. And you should too. Until next time, Panthers. Power to yourself. Bring power to the people. Ashe.
Uni, are you okay? No, okay, Millie, I'm not okay. This is the very last episode of Freedom Schools on 10, and this is the very last chant we're gonna do for the summer, and I'm just so sad, K. Millie, I'm just so sad. I know, Uni, I know, I'm so sad too. I love doing chairs and chants with you, with Gina, Ali, and everyone. How about this, Uni? I'll let you lead the very last chant this week. How does that sound? I mean, that doesn't really replace Freedom Schools in my heart, but I guess that will make me a little more happier, especially after watching the affirmation station. So thank you, K. Millie. I'm gonna start it off like this. Hit it, DJ Sour Patch. Let's go. Here we go. There's no school like Freedom School. There's no school like Freedom School. Reading books is really cool. Reading books is really cool. Gaining knowledge through the word. Gaining knowledge through the word. I'm down with Freedom School, haven't you heard? I'm down with the Freedom School, haven't you heard? I'm down. I'm down. Are you down? Are you down? I'm down. I'm down. Are you down? Are you down? There's no school like Freedom School. There's no school like Freedom School. Reading books is really cool. Reading books is really cool. Gaining knowledge through the word. Gaining knowledge through the word. I'm down with Freedom School, haven't you heard? I'm down with the Freedom School, haven't you heard? I'm down. Oh, I'm down.
Are you down?
Are you down?
I'm down.
I'm down.
Are you down?
Are you down? Yee. Oh man, thanks K Millie for allowing me to lead that chant. I know I don't sound the best. I don't sound like Professor Woe. I don't sound like Richie Rich. I don't sound like DJ Sour Patch. But I tried my best, and that's all that matters. Until next time, everyone, Uni out. Oh man, Uni, that was amazing. It's okay. I can't sing either, but like you said, as long as we give our best, 100% every day, that's all that matters. I know Professor Woe has a history lesson, one last history lesson to teach to us all. Okay, Professor Woe, go ahead. K Millie out. Yee.
Greetings and habari to all my bright young scholars out there. Welcome to the History Corner, and I am your host, Professor Whoa. And if you don't know, now you know. Last episode, we left off with the victorious verdict of the Brown vs. Board of Education case that ruled segregation was unconstitutional. Thurgood Marshall and his fellow attorney homies celebrated into the night, only to soon realize that deliberate speed was built on more deliberation than speed. A lot of people thought it was going to go like this. But it was actually more like this.
Sure. What's the plate?
29 T
Number.
29 THD03.
Two. 9.
THD03.
5 years after the court's unanimous decision, just 40 of North Carolina's 300,000 black scholars attended integrated schools. In Nashville, just a year later, only 43 out of their 12,000 black children studied alongside white children. By 1964, a whole 10 years later, just 1 in 85 Southern black children attended integrated schools. See, the Supreme Court justices didn't want to rush desegregation, so they left this heavy burden to the local federal district court judges, many of whom had no desire to integrate anything outside of maybe peanut butter and jelly.
It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Now there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go.
Several Virginia public schools shut down entirely. They'd rather turn the lights off than allow black scholars to be educated alongside white scholars. Resistance was inevitable. It was bound to happen. And that it did. In August 1955, Emmett Till, a 14-year-old black boy, was murdered for allegedly whistling at a white woman. His mother, Mamie Till, decided to have an open casket funeral with Emmett's body on display for 5 days. Mamie Till said despite the enormous pain it caused her to see her son's body on display, she chose to let the world see what has happened. The 2 men that later publicly admitted to killing Till were tried by an all-white male jury. Unfortunately, justice was not served that day. They were acquitted from all charges.
Get this, more than 6 decades later, in 2007, the woman who Till was accused of whistling at admitted that she lied about Till making advances towards her.
What? That's crazy. I wonder if she knew such a small lie would cause so much pain. But Mamie took that pain and used it to spark courage in young people like yourselves all over the world. Just like many of you, the Little Rock Nine were getting ready for their first day of school. But this first day was unlike any other before it. These 9 students, recruited by the president of the Arkansas NAACP, Miss Daisy Bates, were preparing to be the first black students to attend Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas. They went through intense counseling on how to handle expected opposition. They had to be strong, determined, and self-controlled because, like I said earlier, resistance was inevitable. On September 2nd, 1957, Governor Orville Faubus insisted that bloodshed and violence might break out if black students were allowed to enter the school.
I will not force my people to integrate against their will.
So he enlisted the Arkansas National Guard to stop all black students from coming in. Despite it all, the Little Rock Nine arrived for their first day of school on September 4th, 1957. 8 arrived together, driven by Miss Bates. Elizabeth Eckford's family, however, did not have a telephone, so she couldn't get the news about the carpool plans. Therefore, Eckford arrived alone, like a boss. All alone with the notebook in her hand, Elizabeth Eckford moved boldly through hostile crowds of screaming children and adults, paying them no mind. Eckford later recalled that one of the women spat on her. This image was printed throughout the world, bringing international attention to the situation in Little Rock. They didn't make it into school that day, but it was a step. On September 23rd, 1,000 protesters gathered outside. It became so hostile with riots and threats of violence that the police had to evacuate the students early. The next day, President Eisenhower sent in 1,200 members of the U.S. Army and placed them in charge of the 10,000 National Guardsmen. Now, escorted by these troops, the Little Rock Nine attended their first day of full classes on September 25th, 1957.
This challenge must be met, and with such measures as will preserve to the people as a whole their lawfully protected rights in a climate permitting their free and fair exercise.
We have to celebrate the small wins, but the battle had just begun. Many of the students shared stories of abuse and harassment that affected both them and their families. For instance, Melba Patillo shared how she was kicked, beaten, and had acid thrown on her face. Gloria Ray's mother was fired from her job with the state of Arkansas because she refused to remove her daughter from the school. In September 1958, 1 year after Central High was integrated, Governor Farbus closed all Little Rock high schools for the entire year to prevent black attendance. The schools remained closed until the following year, not opening again until 1959. Then, in 1960, the Bridges family volunteered their 6-year-old daughter, Ruby, to be the first African-American scholar to desegregate the all-white William Frantz Elementary School in Louisiana. As soon as Ruby entered the school, all the white parents took their children out. All the teachers, except for one, refused to teach while a black scholar was enrolled. Barbara Henry from Boston, Massachusetts, taught Ruby one-on-one for over a year, as if she were teaching a whole class. Shout out to all the amazing, phenomenal teachers out there. Ruby received violent threats daily, but showed bravery in the midst of every threat. There were countless examples of resistance, but through strategy, perseverance, and unity, progress was made. In 1964, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed by Congress. It banned discrimination in voting, public accommodations, employment, and schools. The Civil Rights Act empowered the Justice Department to take action against schools that refused to integrate. Now, federal officials had the power to withhold funding, money, Chipola, guacamole, Gouda, bread, all of that from segregated schools. By 1969, when President Lyndon B. Johnson left office, the government had begun to cut off 634 school districts and terminated funding for more than 120 of them. Within 5 years, nearly a third of Southern black children attended integrated schools. By 1973, as many of 90% did. Desegregation was on the up and up, but as we entered into the 90s, the process began to once again slow. According to a recent Times article, more than half of the nation's school children are in racially concentrated districts, where over 75% of students are either white or non-white. According to research from UCLA's Civil Rights Project, black students are just as segregated today as they were in the early 1960s. In most schools throughout the country today, there's little contact between white scholars and scholars of color. I personally believe that children with more exposure to people with other cultures and ethnicities are less likely to stereotype and more likely to seek out diverse experiences as adults. The more we come to truly know each other, the more we can grow to respect one another as our neighbor and our friend. Although we've come such a long way, we still have a long way to go. But today we celebrate those freedom fighters who've made a difference with hope, education, and action. Remember, like Ruby Bridges, the Little Rock Nine, and the many heroes that I didn't get a chance to discuss, you are strong, courageous, brave, determined, and resilient.
And now that you know their story, it's time for you to continue building yours. Thank you for tuning in to the History Corner with Professor Whoa. And if you didn't know, now you know. Peace and much love to you till next time. Yay!
We made it. DJ Taylor, aka Sour Patch, has been seeing the work you guys have been putting in throughout these 5 weeks. Now it's week 6. I can make a difference with hope, education, and action. And let's finish strong by starting our playlist off with "We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it's done." Keep working. Have a great week.
Until the killing of black men, black mother's son.
It's so hard to say goodbye. So instead, we'll say peace. Until next time.
Yo, it's been a real joy doing these episodes every week, and we'll truly miss you all and the support and love you showed us.
Special shout out to the Children's Defense Fund and our fellow elevator trainers.
Remember, no matter what anyone says, no matter what you've been through, going through, or will go through,
you can make a difference in yourself.
You can make a difference in your family.
You can make a difference in your community.
You can make a difference in your country.
You can make a difference in your world.
And you can make a difference with hope, education, and action.
You are a difference maker, a dreamer, and a doer.
A tree planted by the seeds of those heroic figures who've come before you.
Now is the time to stand tall and be who you are destined to be.
To me, young people.
DJ Sour Patch, can you drop a beat for us one last time? Hello, farewell, my friend, until we meet again. Oh, what a time it's been on Freedom Schools on 10. Hello, farewell, my friend, until we meet again. Oh, what a time it's been on Freedom Schools on 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10. Boy.